Hey leaders, how you guys doing? What I want to talk about today as something that I think is very important to me, and honestly, I wish I would have started with this a long time ago, but it's the idea of how, as a small group leader, not to get burnt out. Now, you know, in any area of your life, it's difficult, depending on the season that you're in, not to get burnt out. I mean, we get burnt out with our jobs. Sometimes we get burnt out with parenting, with sports, whatever it might be. There's just seasons where when you're doing something for a long time, in and out of different seasons, trying to maintain the energy can oftentimes be very difficult. Now, it's easy for me to say, and there's books, tons and tons of, especially in the society we live in where many people feel overwhelmed. There are plenty of books on how not to be overwhelmed. If you're looking for any recommendations, my favorite is called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. It's super good, just very challenging on how to make rhythms in your life to where you're not overloading yourself and you're actually seeing how God is working in your life, and not putting too much on your plate where you constantly feel exhausted. So it's a great read. I recommend it. Pretty easy read too, if that's something you guys are looking for. But as far as it comes specifically with small group leaders, is there a way where the way you show up on Wednesday night can make you feel more or less burnt out? And I think yes, the answer is that there are things that you can do that'll help you be in this for the long run, that you come on a weekly basis and not feel burnt out. Now, truth be told, there are going to be weeks, even if you are doing this perfectly, where you're just tired. I mean, working with students, especially in this age where hormones are at a high and they're trying to figure out their place in the world, and sometimes they're disrespectful and rowdy and things like that, there are going to be weeks where even when you feel like you're doing your best, it's just going to be a little bit tiring. But I don't want every week to feel that way. I don't want you to show up and just feel like, Wednesdays are the night that I just get put through the ringer and treated like crap by middle schoolers and high schoolers. So there's 3 quick steps that I want to give you guys that I think is going to go a long way to helping you guys feel burnt out. And really the reason I say this is because I need you guys. And I mean that. And I'm not saying don't hear me saying like you can never leave, but you make the ministry what it is. You are the people that are pastoring these students. You're walking through their lives with them. You're teaching them how to apply the message that we're giving on Wednesday night into their lives. And so if you guys are burnt out and feeling like, I can't do this, then our ministry is not going to function because you are the people that make this happen. And so again, it's like, I know God will bring leaders in and out of our ministry, and that's just natural. So I'm not saying like, please don't leave me. I can't do this without you. But what I am saying is if you leave because of burnout, then I feel like I haven't done my job helping you guys as your pastor. So the first thing is this. It's having good group culture. Now, almost every video I've done before this has been on group culture because I believe if you have a good group culture, you're going to love showing up to your group. When your group understands that they need to be respectful, they're listening to you and to one another. And again, this is a constant battle, but when this is happening, group is much more rewarding. When you see students listening and you seeing them actually making changes, there's nothing more rewarding as a small group leader. Number 2 is connect with other leaders. I know that sounds simple, and some of you are already doing that, and you do that naturally, but it's harder, and I know some of you can't with your work schedules, and I get that, but it's harder to show up to a place where all you know is a couple students and you're a total stranger than when you show up to a place and you're like, yeah, I have connections with all these people and I can have a conversation with them, and they don't have to be your best friends. You don't have to hang out with them outside of this, but having another adult, not just a student, but who understands a little about your life, who cares about you, who'll ask how you're doing, and you guys get to talk, that helps longevity. You're excited to come back each week because you're like, oh man, I only get to see this person on Wednesday nights, and I really enjoy getting to talk with them, and I enjoy our relationship with one another. So I encourage you, building connections and friendships with other leaders goes a long way for longevity. And the last thing is this. If possible, connect with the students, specifically the ones that fill you up. Now, I want you to connect with every student, and I'm not asking you to play favorites. Don't hear me saying that. But you and I know the truth, which there are some students that are more draining, and there's some students that can be very encouraging or life-giving. Make sure you have at least some time that you're connecting with students that are life-giving and encouraging for you. And if you lead a small group where you're like, it feels like they're all draining, then that's where building that connection and learning to take a genuine interest in the things that they're interested in can make you excited to get to know them. Because really, here's the truth of a small group leader is I think the reason that I could be wrong, but I think the reason most of you do this is because when you get to watch a student genuinely have life change. Like you genuinely watch them transform. I think of there's an 8th grade boy right now who last year I was like, man, we might have to ask this kid not to come back to youth group, and now is like being influential and loving people and being kind and making a difference at school. And I just like watching that is the reason I do what I do, is because it's someone who felt so far from Jesus and now feels like they're walking in step with him. And there's still hiccups along the way, but when the message of the gospel and maturity and all this stuff starts to click, it's as a leader, you're like, this is why I do this. And so what I don't want you guys to miss those moments because the students are so exhausting. So I know this is quick, I know it's simple, but I hope this goes a long way just to help you guys feel refreshed and stay around. That I promise, if you are having a good group culture, I don't want to say promise, but if you're having a group culture, you're connecting with other leaders and you're connecting with students that you enjoy, like you actually enjoy getting to talk to them, it is going to make a world of difference for you leading on a Wednesday night. Actually, one thing I want to add too is if you do have the opposite, where you have that one student, I've said this before, you have that one student that is just constantly making your week exhausting, like every Wednesday night is exhausting because of one particular student, tell me, because we're going to address that student together in a very loving way, not mean, but in a very loving way to help them know like, hey, we need you to change, not so that you can have energy, but because it's probably not just you that's feeling exhausted. It's probably their group, and it's going to help the whole culture. And again, that kind of goes to that having a good group culture is find if there is a problem in the group and don't eliminate the problem as in like the student, but have conversations, loving conversations with the student that show them why their behavior is troublesome and help them, again, walk in maturity and in life change and see positive transformation. So that's all I got for you guys this week. I just want to let you know I appreciate the heck out of you guys. And you make this ministry run. Really, this is your ministry, and I'm just the pastor that speaks on Wednesday nights. You guys are really the ones doing the hard work. You're the hands and feet, and I couldn't do this without you. And that's why I'm always trying to pour back into you guys, trying to find you co-leaders, trying to find people that want to do this and making sure you guys want to be here because you're the ones making the difference. And when they're hopefully loving spouses and parents one day, hopefully they just look back and be like, yeah, it's because I had different adults and small group leaders in my life who are pouring into me and who are making a difference, and that's you guys. So thank you so much for all you do. And in case you noticed it earlier in this video, that is a promposal sign from Tegan, who is a 11th grade boy who asked Jack, another 11th grade boy, to prom. So yeah, enjoy that.